Go back again. Forget that, scrap that, start again.
Okay, man, I'm ready when you are.
Okay, good morning. This week we are back on Fowler & Gilbert again, but slightly different business. We've got Fowler & Gilbert... Okay, good morning. No, I'm still laughing. You fucking idiot, Clayton. Stop laughing yourself, this is not helping me.
Sorry, man.
It's always the same when you're in a rush.
No.
Don't even look at me.
Don't.
Okay, good morning. This week we are back on Fowler & Gilbert business again, slightly different. We've got Fowler & Gilbert meets the farm, which we're going to go round to in a second because we're starting the footings. And round here at our unit, we've got some upgrades to discuss on our fleet. Now, our fleet consists of 2 tractor units. One here, which is the old one. The other one is out presently delivering. And what we did, when we bought the new unit, we sort of retired the old one here to being our yard shunter. So moving trailers around the yard when we're loading, unloading, whatever it may be. As we have grown and got bigger, we have required the second unit or the original unit going out more often with big bradders on it. I can't yet commit to another unit because it's a massive chunk of money, which we're not quite at that stage. We're sort of at 1.5, 1.75 at the moment. So what we've had to do is we've had to bring in the FREDDIE MERCURY, which is what we're now using as a shunter. Now, I bought that about 4 years ago from an auction, and when we got it back here, the flywheel shredded all the teeth off it and we couldn't then use it. So it's just been parked up at the back and we haven't had a chance to fit it. It's an American engine. We've had to get the parts shipped over. It's been an absolute nightmare. It's been at the bottom of the priority list. So we've left that really in the background. But now that this second unit is out all the time, we need something to move trailers around the yard. So what we've done is we've got that out, we've sent it to Nathan, our mechanic. He has then fixed all the engine, put a new flywheel on, all the new starter motor and everything, and it's up and running. And albeit an old girl, she's working very well. So that's moving all the trailers and stuff around the yard, but we've also had to look at what we're doing with trailers. Now, we run 2 low loader trailers, one old one newer one. We have 3 flatbeds, one of which is a trombone. Now, for those who don't know, a trombone or an extender is a flatbed trailer that we can then extend from being 45 foot in length out to up to 60 foot if we need to, or 18 metres. Not very often we need to do that, but when you do get your bigger buildings, the rafters, and you need a full bed length, that's what we will do it on. The trombone is a really good trailer and it's one of the newest ones that we've got. The 2 older ones, one we bought from another business that we deal with and paid peanuts for, another one I bought from an auction, but the floors are pretty much shot in them and they need quite a lot of work. The one oldest one that we've got, I was loading some roundwood timber on once upon a time and I've bent the sideboard on it, so it's not ideal. So this load on here now is the last load that the old green trailer is going to do, because we've had to buy 2 new flatbed trailers to replace the 2 that we're going to now decommission, because like I say, the floors have gone. When I look at the cost of redoing the floors in the trailer, and then we've got to redo all the brakes, we've got tyres that we need on them, all the chassis is rusty, so's the sideboard and there's a bend in it. It's just a little bit like there's no point in spending the money. We might as well put them in an auction. They can then probably get shipped out the country and be used abroad where standards are not as high, and they'll be fine. We'll get the best we can for them and replace with these nice new shiny ones that look the part. So, the 2 new trailers we've gone for are Denison in make, which is the same as the trombone we've had. We've been really pleased with that trailer, so we've decided to stay with Denison as a brand. They've been really good. Differences that we have, we've extended this headboard up. So the lower level headboards that we've got on our original trailers, technically a lot of our stuff is higher than, so really we should have had the taller headboard. So we've had that different on this one. There are sockets for pins, not that we really use them very often, but we have now got the option if we need to. So that's a socket there, and you put a metal pin in if you're transporting anything that is arguably steel and slides off the side. Not that we use them for this, or round wood or anything like that. So we've got the option of putting pins in if we want. And apart from that, it's a pretty standard 45 foot triaxle flatbed trailer. So like I say, we've got 2 of them now. The other thing that we needed, because we're doing a lot more fibre cement deliveries, which is smaller sites that we're going to, we've always had this bit of an issue of access, because access can be really tight on some farms. What we've done, I looked at an urban flat, but a brand new urban flat like this, which an urban flat is, I don't know, 35 foot long, so a smaller trailer, is £38,000. And I cannot warrant £38,000 on a shorter flatbed trailer. It doesn't stack up money-wise. So what we've done, we've found, or Nathan, should I say, has found a chap that will renovate an existing or an older urban flat for us. So it'll be like brand new when we get it, but arguably a fraction of the money. So we've paid £12,000, which that's not here, it's due in a few weeks, so you'll see that when it comes. But we paid £12,000 then for an urban flatbed trailer. These are brand new here, and these were 24,000. So still a little bit pricey, but ultimately we've got to have new. So. So this is the old girl. This is the Reliance Mercury. We call it Freddie. Brad has always, since we've had this and it's been sat here, Brad has always wanted to get himself inside Freddie Mercury, and now he's got the opportunity. She is an old girl, but she is brilliant. And what it does for us as well, you don't have to get out and wind the jack legs up and lower them down. Visually, it's a lot more visual when you're sat in than when you are in a normal unit. So for round the yard, health and safety wise, that is better for us. It saves us time because now Brad can back up under the trailer. We lift the front of the trailer. So instead of having to wind the legs up, like I say, you just lift the trailer up, we drive it round to wherever we want, we park it up and we drop it back off again. So in actual fact, once Brad has nestled himself inside Freddie Mercury, he hasn't got to get out unless he really wants to, or he's finished. Okay, so now we are Fowler & Gilbert meets the farm. So what we've done, we are getting whinged at by the office still that we haven't taken delivery of the building, which with one thing or another, we just haven't got round to doing the footings. Now, weather hasn't helped us. Weather dried up nicely. We started digging these footings last night and it absolutely lashed down, which was frustrating. But luckily, there's no real water lying in these. So what we've done is we've marked this bio unit out, we've set it out from where it was on the plan, and we've set this here, so this is going to be about 300 mil higher than what the machinery store building is going to be there. And the reason for that is because of damp and because it's going to be of an office environment with a biosecure unit, it has to have the same sort of detail, I suppose, as what like the house build does in terms of we put the footings in, so we've got a 600 wide footing at 450 deep. We set that down with one trench block allowed for on top, followed by 3 courses of, I think we'll probably put a blue engineering brick here. That will then be our damp course level, and that's where we concrete the floor inside this bio unit too. And then the internal walls will build up off that concrete slab. A little bit different because we're going to insulate the floor in here as you have to, but we're not going to put underfloor heating in. This will just be heated basically either by aircon, or we might reuse the central heating system that we've got in the temporary dwelling with the oil tank for this. I don't know yet what we're going to do. I need to speak to Wayne on that to see what he suggests, but ultimately it's either going to be air ducts in the ceiling or we're going to have radiators piped round the building. So this is brick construction. So again, we've got brick on the outside, which will be a face brick. We've then got a cavity, which this time we are going to make sure we get it exactly right and we've got the right insulation. I don't want the same either, and I don't want Clayton spending an entire week in this unit being a professional tanker on the block work. And then we've got a thermalite block on the inside. So we'll have that cavity wall sort of detail. It'll be nice and insulated, so it's energy efficient for what we want it for. So like I say, Ditty the digger driver come in last night. I'd marked it all out. He's dug this. We're going to get this marked out now. Ditty's coming in tonight to dig me these spot footings because I've got to go off and measure a big job up in North Wales. And tomorrow morning, we've then got concrete coming to pour for both of these sets of footings. So we need to crack on. Okay, so that is it. The footings are now in. We can finally take delivery of the building. Not that I know when we've got a minute to put it up, but at least it'll be here. Office won't be whinging at us, and when we do get a spare minute, we can then make a start doing that. I can then get Neil from Elevation and the guys back in. They can start putting that trench block round now. They can build that up to damp. We can then stone and insulate and concrete the floor inside and what we're going to do in there. And then once we've done that concrete bit, they can then start building the walls up. So there's loads to get on with here. We've also got Sarah on site at the minute out the office. She has come, and it turns out she's quite the tree lady or horticulturist or whatever you want to call it. I don't really know, but she seems to be this mountain of knowledge about all my trees and everything that we've got going around the place. So luckily she has come over. She's been doing some pruning. She's now doing some spraying of the trees of something to get rid of something that shouldn't be there. I don't really know. So that's it here. If you like what you've seen, hit subscribe, ring the bell. We will leave you now with a look at Brad getting himself right inside Freddie Mercury, moving all our brand new trailers around the yard, and a look at the foundations going in here and Sarah spraying them trees montage. Boom.